Alright, back again with another Blu-ray collection video. This is the second part of me going through the rest of my Blu-ray collection, and well, at least the boutique Blu-ray by the boutique labels. And well, last time I thought I would include more in it than I did, but I always underestimate how much time and space it takes to go through this stuff. So 101 films got pushed into this one, and after that I'll do whatever I have the time and the space for. So there's that. These next couple of videos are going to be complete clusterfucks because I counted that I have here releases by, I guess, 27 different labels. And by some of them I only have 1, 2, or maybe 3 releases, but some of them I have more from. So I'll try to do 101 films and umbrella, and I'll try to fit some of the smaller ones in here as well. So without any more babbling to start the video off, let's get into it. Starting with 101 films. This is the Alligator box set. Has the movies Alligator 1 and 2 in it. And one of the things that I don't really like about 101 films releases is that they have this J card that goes around the box. But there isn't really any way to store it properly, so I just have it folded up here. At least this one is a decent size, so you can actually fit it inside the case. Most of them you cannot even fit inside the case for safekeeping. It does also have a poster. It's the artwork from the box set. It looks like this. Pretty bad lighting for that one, but I hope you saw enough. It does have a book as well. I'm not a huge fan of these movies. One thing that I do appreciate about them is that they used for some of the scenes actual real alligators, and the special effects for the not so real alligators are pretty well done as well. The first movie is pretty fun. I did enjoy that one. The second one is pretty rough, in my opinion, but worth checking out for anyone who's into monster movies, definitely. The movies themselves come in 2 separate cases. Does have Blu-ray and... oh yeah, this is 4K. So there's a 4K of Alligator. Is there also a 4K of the second one? No, the second one is just Blu-ray. I don't know if this movie benefits from 4K at all, but well, there is a 4K disc for those who are obsessed with that sort of thing. They also released more of these. I think they had a licensing deal with one of the North American companies. They got these, and they also did Lawnmower Man and Slumber Party Massacre, but I guess their licenses ran out because they just completely wiped these box sets from their website. So you cannot get this box set anymore from the 101 Films online shop. So secondhand market it is if you want to get your hands on that one and the other ones. Right, another box set that I have from 101 Films is the Bob Clark Horror Collection, which comes with Black Christmas, Death Dream, and Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. And this one is a tight fit because there's also extra stuff here, like the J card that unfortunately is too large to fit. So I had to cram it in there. It has a little bit of damage to it, but it is what it is. So yeah, sucks, but what can you do? There's some art cards. Am I going to risk not getting the band on? I guess I'll show these like parts of the art cards. I don't want to get the band off. those who have watched more of my videos know that these bands are a absolute nightmare to work with. So there's some art cards, also a book. Bob Clark, I think, is a fantastic director. Of the three movies here, Black Christmas that's one of the seminal 1970s horror movies, one of the greats of all-time greats in the genre. So many modern horror movies owe a lot to that one. It's one of those movies where a bunch of people are receiving ominous phone calls, and there's this kind of a stalker killer on the loose. It doesn't seem that unique anymore, probably from the point of view of a modern viewer, but this is one of the movies where a lot of the cliches in the modern horror genre came from. So, yeah. First up, there's Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. It's kind of a zombie movie. Not the greatest ever, but an interesting watch, I think. Anyone who's into zombie movies should probably watch that at one point or another. Then there is Death Dream, which is quite an interesting one. I did enjoy this a lot. It is a controversial movie. It deals with Vietnam War and PTSD. Very dreamlike in its atmosphere. And then there is Black Christmas that I already discussed. An absolute must-watch for anyone who's into horror movies. One of the greats from the 1970s. Right, so that's Bob Clark. There we go. And then I have a bunch of these Black Label limited releases, starting off with Existence. So these come in these like black and white slip cases. David Cronenberg's Existence, not my favorite Cronenberg movie, but I should probably rewatch it at some point. It's weird. It's David Cronenberg doing a body horror video game movie. It has some like virtual reality stuff going on and everything. It is all over the place. It's an interesting watch. Also has Willem Dafoe in it. That's always great to see. And yeah. If you're not familiar with David Cronenberg's work, do not start with this one. Watch The Fly and what else should you watch first? Definitely The Fly. Dead Ringers is one of my favorites as well. That's not one of the more popular ones. Scanners is another essential one. So those are probably more easily approachable, more starter friendly. Videodrome, of course, as well. But yeah, it's an interesting curiosity from 1999. Then I got a copy of Following, which is the early Christopher Nolan movie. This one, I think the script is quite interesting and clever. It is a low-budget, like crime thriller about this guy who starts to hang out with a burglar and gets involved with that world. Just a shit ton of twists in this movie. It's full of twists, so you never really know where the storyline is going. Or if you think you do, you're going to get your carpet pulled from under you. Interesting one. I think he wrote this with his brother as well. I think they collaborated on Memento as well. Or maybe it's based on one of his brother's short stories, something like that. Yeah. Good stuff. Then a movie that I remember nothing about this one. Meat Cleaver Massacre from 1970s. I remember absolutely nothing from this movie, so it's some kind of a slasher, probably. 50 top grossing movies. Is it really here? Like, for real? Well, that's something, I guess. Didn't know that. Yeah, you get the idea from those images. Sure. Meat Cleaver Massacre. Oh, has the original script as well. That's a nice addition. It's just a script of the movie in booklet form. That's cool. Next up, a slasher from the 1980s. This is Prom Night. Not anywhere near my favorite slashers, but it does have Jamie Lee Curtis in it. After she did Halloween, and also has a Leslie Nielsen appearance in it, which is interesting. He didn't do that many horror movies. This is not a comedy movie. Leslie Nielsen is mostly known as a comedy actor, but he was also here in Prom Night, which is like a run-of-the-mill slasher. It's all right, but if I had to make a top 10 slasher movies list, like, this would be nowhere near that list. There are so many better ones in the genre, including ones that Jamie Lee Curtis starred in, like Halloween. So yeah, it doesn't have anything else in it. It does have Jamie Lee Curtis's cleavage presented. Points for that. Next up, a really weird one. This is Skinner, featuring Ted Raimi, most well known as the brother of Sam Raimi. And this also has Tracy Lords in it. So those who know who Tracy Lords is know who she is, but I'm not going to go into that. Further into that. She was quite popular back in the day. And yeah, this is an extremely strange horror movie. It's also a slasher. I would say a better slasher than Prom Night. Has Ted Raimi in it as this psychotic killer. And does have some extremely inappropriate content in it. Some explicitly racist material in it. For example, one of the characters mimicking the speaking style of a stereotypical racist, like, African American accent and stuff like that. So be warned. But well, it's a product of its time. It's from the 90s. So another one from the 90s, to be honest, probably after. Do I even want to say this? I guess it is true. I'll stick with it. This is my favorite movie that 101 Films has released that I have in a collection. Only second to Black Christmas, and that is Tammy and the T-Rex, with Dennis Richards and Paul Walker in it. So this is Paul Walker before Fast and Furious, and Dennis Richards around the same time as Starship Troopers, I would say. I can't remember exactly what year Starship Troopers came out, but yeah. This is one of the most hilarious comedy horror movies ever made. It's about the loving relationship of this teenage girl and a T-Rex. Like a mutant T-Rex created by an evil doctor. And yeah, I don't want to spoil anything about the movie. It is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, but extremely entertaining. I guess the only negative for this release in particular is that this one doesn't have the original correct aspect ratio for the movie. There is also a Vinegar Syndrome release for this that is in the correct aspect ratio. So as far as I remember, this one has like a stretched image that is full screen. That's not how the movie is supposed to look like. So be warned if you are a nerd about like picture quality and aspect ratios. That one doesn't have the best possible one, right? A high recommendation, an underrated sci-fi horror gem, in my opinion. This is The Brain from 1988. Much better than I ever would have expected. It does have David Gale in it, who is probably best known from Reanimator. He is the guy in Reanimator who's like a severed head with bat wings flying around. Yeah, the special effects in this one are surprisingly good. It looks great. It's really fun. It's one of those 80s horror movies that, is it a great movie? No. But is it really fun? Yes. It is entertaining from start to finish. Just great stuff. So a high recommendation for The Brain. One of the better ones. One of the biggest positive surprises I've had from a 101 Films release. Then I have a couple more here. One more that I've watched from the 101 Black Label releases. This is The Last Broadcast, which is a found footage horror movie released in 1998. So this really released pretty much at the same time as the Blair Witch Project. This is not as good as Blair Witch Project. I don't think this is anywhere near the quality of that movie, but it does have some interesting ideas, and I think it's definitely worth checking out if you are into this subgenre of horror movies. It does have an interesting storyline in it. These people, surprise, going into the woods, investigating paranormal activity. In this case, they were looking for a chupacabra or something, the Jersey Devil, something like that. They were looking for it in the woods. Yeah, the Jersey Devil. There he is. Everyone's favorite woodland critter. So yeah, so it's a typical found footage storyline. You have these people who go into the woods and they film what they see in the woods. It's pretty good. Then I have a couple in the backlog. This is one of the rare cases where the backlog that I have is much shorter than the list of titles that I've watched. So I have only two here. I've got Fear City by Abel Ferrara, one of his like New York crime movies. Not a huge fan of Abel Ferrara, but I'm always interested to see when I find out a movie by him that I really like, because I never really enjoyed much of his output. King of New York I thought was fine. Driller Killer is awful. I hate that movie so much. But yeah. And then I have a copy of Suburbia by, who is the director? Penelope Spheris. No idea who that is. This is is this the punk movie? Yeah, this is the punk movie. It's a bunch of punks living in a squat. So got that one. And then I have one release from the Red Label series. So they have this Red Label line as well, with these red cases. Surprise, surprise, I have a copy of Truck Turner. It doesn't have a booklet. There probably is a first print for this that does have a booklet, but I don't have that. It's a blaxploitation movie, one of the weaker ones I've seen in the genre. The curiosity here is that it has Isaac Hayes in the main role, the guy who famously voiced Jeff in South Park and did the music for Shaft and everything like that. So, Truck Turner. Only for the true connoisseurs of blaxploitation movies. It's not something that you should seek out first from that genre. Right. Next up, so that was 101 Films. Obviously, there are many more releases by this company. This is just scratching the surface with these releases. I'm always looking for some of the releases. Probably the one that I am the most trying to get is Johnny Mnemonic, the one with Keanu Reeves in it. And they also have a Black Label limited edition for Spookies, the 1980s horror movie. Those are the two ones that I'm missing that I would really like to get. They also released Denis Villeneuve's Incendies quite recently. That went out of print almost immediately, the limited edition. So a bunch of stuff that I'm always looking looking to add into the collection, but yeah. Right, next up, let's do Umbrella. So this was a UK company. Now we are jumping into Australia. So exciting, exotic times. Umbrella release really high quality stuff, but it's quite difficult to get your hands on these as a European. The shipping costs for buying directly from Umbrella are pretty ridiculous. Like 30 to 40 euros for a package. Like that's a bit steep. So I only have a couple of releases. I'm always looking out for some of their releases that I'm missing, trying to get them. There's also a lot of overlap between Umbrella and UK labels and US labels, so they release a lot of the same stuff as well. So first of all, I have the Pusher trilogy. This is the limited edition with the book, limited to 750, I believe. So let's take a look. These are Danish crime movies, probably best known for being, it is limited to 750. I've got number 24, that's quite nice. So these are directed by Nicholas Winding Refn, the guy who did Drive. And those who are watching this stuff who are into video games, he is in Death Stranding. He plays Heartman in that one. But yeah, he's probably best known for Drive. He also did the TV show, what is it called? Too Young to Die Old or something. Too Young to Die, whatever, something like that. That was pretty popular, a TV series for, I think, Hulu or someone, one of the companies. Yeah, Pusher. There's a bunch of art cards, but again, it's a nightmare to show them. I messed it up. Well, no going back now. I'll show all of the art cards. Some Japanese poster art. I don't really like the title Dealer. Like Pusher has a great sound to it. Right. So these are 1990s gangster movies set in Denmark. So you have these Danish like drug pushers who are working with Serbian immigrants, and there is, of course, surprise, problems. Like it doesn't really work out that well. Shot in pretty much like in an amateur style almost. It's not a Dogma movie. So it does have some set pieces and some lighting. Oh my god, it's freaking bands. But yeah, the lighting is pretty rough. There are scenes in the movie where you can barely see what is going on the screen because it's so dark. But I guess that adds to the atmosphere of it. I really like the first movie. I haven't watched the other ones, but the first one is really, really good. This also has Mads Mikkelsen in it. Mads Mikkelsen, I think the first Pusher was his first role as a movie actor. So if you are a fan of Mads Mikkelsen, he has a delightfully obnoxious character here. He's one of the drug pushers, one of the gangsters in the movie. So yeah, that's Pusher. There was recently a 4K release for this by a different company. I can't remember which one. But that one has 4K versions of these movies and also some other movies by other Danish directors. So I guess this is not the definitive release anymore. Also comes with some posters. Let's take a look. Oh yes, these have some of the imagery from the movie. So there's Mads Mikkelsen's, the back of the head of Mads Mikkelsen. And then on the other side, you have some of these original poster art. So there are posters for all of the movies, I guess, here. I'm not going to show all of them because that doesn't really matter. You get the idea. Is there something extra here? Nope. Just the movie. The sequel is called With Blood on My Hands, and then the third one is I'm the Angel of Death. There you go. That's Pusher trilogy. Early Nicholas Winding Refn fans of his work. Definitely worth checking out. Then I also have the heavy, really heavy box of Terrifier. This is the Art Attack collection. So Umbrella have released these movies so many times. It's kind of ridiculous, but this is the box set that has the 3 movies in it and also the prequel. So there are 4 movies here. This is limited to 20,000. I have number 300. And these movies are quite notorious. Also comes with a hardcover book. Is there imagery here that I can show? The movies are incredibly violent. That's what they are known for. They are so violent that it's almost comedic at times. And it is often played out as almost like a joke when the main character is killing the victims. So it's this killer clown that goes around killing people. It's like a slash. It's a combination of a slasher and a supernatural horror movie, because the clown is not just a regular human. There's a storyline running through the movies as well. Also comes with some stickers, and there are art cards. I'll take the band off and show them. So this is from the second movie, I guess. The main actress in the second and third movies, this lady, whose name I cannot remember at the moment, she's really good. Like all of the people, the guy who performs as Art the Clown is fantastic as well. Really good stuff. Yeah, this is also from the second movie, The Angel of Death. Yeah. These movies have become incredibly popular, and a lot of people meme on them because they have become so popular, and they have this just ridiculous over-the-top imagery in them, as you can see from these art cards as well. But I think these are some of the better modern horror movies, and definitely not just some stupid gore movies. So I definitely recommend watching them. I'm more annoyed by the fake fans who watch these movies than I am annoyed by the movies themselves. I think the first Terrifier is okay. It's pretty fun. Has some cool ideas. The second one is by far my favorite. It really ramps up the violence and has some incredible set pieces and sequences. The special effects, especially in the bedroom scene, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's a scene in a bedroom here. The special effects in that scene are so sickeningly well made. Just incredible stuff. Is there something here inside the case? It's pretty heavy. It does have multiple discs because these are 4K and Blu-ray. So yeah, it does have a poster. Let's take a look at the poster as well. It's probably too large to fit properly on screen, but yeah, there you have the Terrifier 2 poster. Good looking art. It does. Oh yeah, it has. It's reverse. It has the first movie on the other side. So. Terrifier 1 as well. So yeah, the second movie I think is pretty exceptional. The third one, maybe I watched these too close to one another, but the third one I wasn't too impressed with. It's just, when you make extreme horror movies and then you're trying to make the next one more extreme, and then you make a third movie and you again have to try and make it more extreme, there are only so many things that you can do before it just goes over the board completely. I think the third movie crosses the line a little bit with all of the killing of the little children and everything like that. It's not cool, really, but it's still a well-made horror movie, so I don't have much against it, but could be better. Right. Then I have a couple other Umbrella releases that are not massive box sets. I've got a copy of one of the worst movies I've ever seen, Miami Connection. The artwork is so bad, it's hilarious. Yeah, it's it's one of those 1980s action movies that's so bad that it's good. I also appreciated that this has the soundtrack CD in it, so yeah, it's still sealed. I'm not going to open it. I don't know if I ever want to watch this again, but I have a copy of it if I ever feel like it. Another one that I have seen is The Man from Hong Kong, which is an Australian action movie. Does have Jimmy Wang Yu in the main role, a legendary Hong Kong actor, and he goes to Australia, so why not? Does have some insane action sequences and ridiculous explosives and everything. The final sequence in the high-rise building is really good. I do appreciate that. Then I have a couple of Australian horror movies that I haven't watched yet. I think this is Australian. Next of Kin by Tony Williams. I'm pretty sure this is Australian, but I could be mistaken. If I make mistakes, let me know in the comments, and I will gladly admit my ignorance. Right. So yeah, this has a soundtrack by Klaus Schulze, just an incredible German electronic music artist from way back in the day. Really cool stuff. If I remember correctly, this is one of Quentin Tarantino's favorite horror movies, so there's that as well. Haven't had the time to check it out. Then I got this slipcover edition of Nightmares, which is again an Australian slasher, I guess. Again, pretty sure that this is Australian. If it's not, correct me. Does have a booklet as well. A really small one, but it's better than nothing. Australia Day and Other Nightmares. Oh, it's by Alexandra Haylor Nicholas. Not a huge fan of her essays, but I haven't read that one, so cannot comment on it. And then I randomly found a copy of this just at the used bookstore. I don't know why. For just a couple of euros, I picked it up. I got a copy of Young Guns 2, which is the Western that famously features Kiefer Sutherland. I don't know much about this series. I haven't seen the first one. Oh, it also has Christian Slater in it. The guy from True Romance. So, yeah, I got the sequel for Young Guns. I've never seen the original. I don't think I even own the original movie. So there's that. Now, how much do I want to go into the other labels? I guess I'll pick a couple and go through those quickly. We are already at 30 minutes, so let's do Second Run. This is a company that I have 3 movies by. I should get more. They specialize in Eastern European art house movies from like 60s and 70s. I'm not too familiar with the genre, but I have seen this one, which is Valerie and Her Week of Wonders by Jaromil Jires. I am not going to show the booklet because there's probably some inappropriate pictures there. The main actress of this movie is 13 years old, and there is like explicit nudity in the movie, so that's quite dodgy. But it's a really interesting movie. I like it quite a bit. It's like a coming-of-age story where this young girl gets her first period and then goes through this insane fantasy nightmare dream world for some reason, and it's just living in there. It's strange, but it's quite interesting. I also have a copy of Goodbye Dragon Inn by Tsai Ming Lian, one of the better known movies by him. Not a huge fan of it. Many people seem to rate it much higher than I do. It's extremely slow. Takes place inside a movie theater, and like during the playing of a movie by one of the great East Asian directors, King Hu, that guy, and the other movie is just playing there, and you follow the patrons of the movie theater and the people who work there. while that movie is playing. It's strange. It's an interesting movie, but if your movie has like a 5-minute scene where someone is sweeping the floor and the camera is just still filming the guy sweeping the floor, it doesn't really matter how well you frame the picture and how good it looks. It's just not going to be that interesting to me. And I also have a copy of the documentary The Emperor's Naked Army Marches On by Kazuo Hara. This one I haven't watched yet, but I've heard incredibly positive things about it. Well, this guy looks like he's bored out of his mind, but that's fine. Yeah, it's one of the most bizarre documentaries I've heard of. Where it follows this guy who is just he was in the Second World War, and he has some interesting ideas about the emperor. Let's just put it that way. Just a wild guy. Right, and let's do a couple more. Let's do Signal 1 next. I have 3 releases by Signal 1. I don't know if this company exists anymore, but here we go. I've got a copy of The Three Faces of Eve, which is not the greatest movie. It's one of those, this is from 1957. It's one of those movies that deals with like mental health, and the ideas presented here are quite outdated. So it is definitely an outdated movie with ideas from the 50s in it. I also have a sealed copy of The Rare Breed, which is a Western featuring Jimmy Stewart. The font on this is incredibly small, but I guess you can probably see something there. And then I have one more here with a different spine. So they changed the spine design at one point from this to this. And this is The Panic in Needle Park featuring Al Pacino, a movie about heroin addicts. Doesn't have anything extra in it. Haven't watched that one yet. Then let's do Network next. I have one movie here that I've watched and a bunch in the backlog. So Network, unfortunately, do not exist anymore. I think they went out of business a couple of years ago now. A British company specializing in British genre movies. They also release other stuff, but this is the stuff that I live for. So starting off with Hawk the Slayer. Like, this is the good stuff. Sword and sorcery movie from Britain from the 1980s, I think. When was this released? 1980. And yeah, this is the stuff that I like. It's so cheesy and so fun. Definitely recommend it for anyone who's into fantasy movies. Hawk the Slayer. Then I randomly found a copy of this at a flea market, I think, for just a couple of euros. I have no idea why this was there. It was surrounded by Transformers movies and American blockbusters and everything like. And then there is Escape from Sobibor, which has Rutger Hauer in it, a young Rutger Hauer. So this is like a concentration camp. I think a miniseries. Is it not? I'm pretty sure it's a miniseries, like TV series, or maybe it's a TV. Oh, it's a 2-part TV movie probably. So 150 minutes. So there we go. Escape from Sobibor. Then I have a copy of Filmed in Super Mario Nation. Also has This is Super Mario Nation. So this is a documentary on the company that did like Thunderbirds, I think, and these other shows. There's some writing there behind it. Yeah. There's also like scenes from different shows that they did. So yeah, there's Thunderbirds and all these other shows. Fireball XL5. Yeah, it's a documentary on this company who produced these shows with this sort of like a puppet, animated puppet style, quite an unique look. Then I have a noir movie, Carol Reed's Odd Man Out. This one I've been meaning to watch this for months now, but I will never find the right time to do so. It does have a booklet in it as well. All of the releases do not have a booklet in them, but this one I do have it for. Really nice looking black and white imagery from the movie. And Carol Reed, of course, the director of The Third Man, if I'm not mistaken. One of the great film noirs. And then I have a copy of Unearthly Stranger, which is one of these British sci-fi movies. Again, I don't have too many releases by this company. There are many more that I would like to get. Speaking of Unearthly Stranger, I would definitely like to get Quatermass, the British sci-fi movie. That one definitely I would like to add into the collection. And so many more. It's sad that this company doesn't exist anymore. And, well, I guess I'll do a couple more. I'll do these. Let's say these ones. Yeah, these. I have a stack here. So I have one released by Dog Woof DVD. Well, these are not DVD, these are Blu-ray. A double pack of The Look of Silence and The Act of Killing, which are incredible documentaries, some of the best documentaries I've ever seen, by Joshua Oppenheimer on the genocide in Indonesia in the 1960s. The first movie, Act of Killing, is from the point of view of the people who did the killing. So it follows some of the death squad members who are they're happily smiling. And then the second movie, Act of Killing, is from the point of view of some of the people who were civilians affected by the genocide. And, well, this is just a fantastic documentary. The Act of Killing, insanely dark subject matter, but just dealt with from a point of view that I didn't think would ever work. Interviewing the people who killed just thousands upon thousands, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of civilians. It's dark. It gets really dark. Yeah. Also 2 booklets, one for each movie. So that's Dog Woof. Everything I have by them, which is not much. Then I have one release by Vestron Video. This one, which is The Lair of the White Worm, still sealed. It's a Ken Russell directed horror movie, which sounds insane and looks insane. Also has Hugh Grant in it. I don't know if this is going to work, but whatever. I'll check it out at some point. Sounds insane. 2 movies by Tartan Palisades, a British company that does not exist anymore. That's a running theme here. British companies that do not exist anymore. I've got a copy of The Machinist, which is just a phenomenal dark thriller by Brad Anderson, featuring Christian Bale in it. Just a nightmare of a movie. Great stuff. These Tartan Blu-rays are early ones. These are from the early days of Blu-ray, so many of them have had better releases. These movies many of them have had better releases by different companies, but what can you do? I also have this one. This is Thirst. I'm not sure if I showed this one in one of the earlier videos. Probably not, but yeah. This is Thirst by Park Chan-wook. Oh yeah, in the artificial eye and arrow videos that I did, I had a bunch of Park Chan-wook movies, but I don't think I showed this one. Yeah, first it's a vampire movie, Korean vampire movie, weird one. Right, that's the only 2 Tartan releases I have currently. Then I guess I'll end with these 2. I forgot this from one of the Arrow videos. That sounds so stupid. Arrow videos, Arrow Films videos. I don't care. I forgot this one because this is not just a regular release. This is from the Arrow Films World line. This is the only one I have of these. I didn't even originally realize that this was an Arrow Films release. So I don't know how many of these there even are. I don't even know what this line is, how long it ran. I know that, for example, the Japanese movie Departures has one of these as well. I have a different really, like I have this one for Departures, but there's also one like this with a blue case. I don't know what's up with these. If you know about this situation, please let me know in the comments. I would gladly learn more about Arrow Films World, because I have no idea what this even is. It's a Blu-ray, but I don't know if it's in like an official Arrow video release or some retail spin-off or whatever. And then I guess I'll end with another British company. This is quite an obscure one. I have one release by Fractured Visions, which is a small company. I don't know if they are in operation anymore, because I don't think they've released anything new in a while. But yeah, they've released some interesting movies. I would definitely like to get their release of Doberman, which is the gangster movie or the crime movie from, I think, France. Or is it from Italy? I can't remember. But I would like to get that one. So I only have Umberto Lenzi's Free Hand for a Tough Cop. I think it's also known as just Tough Cop. Yeah, I thought this was phenomenal. A really good, really entertaining movie. It has Thomas Millian playing this criminal who is recruited out of prison to be an undercover agent. Has lots of dark humor in it as well. There are some art cards. Il trucido e lo spirro. Perfect pronunciation. So there's some art cards. There's a booklet. I guess the only thing that I would say as a negative from this release is that the subtitles are not 100% professional quality. There are some translations and some stylistic choices in there that I thought were I would expect to see in a fan-made subtitle that you download off the internet, but it's good enough for me. It's not that big of a deal. So there you go. That is 101 Films Umbrella Second Run Network Signal One Doc Woof DVD, Western Video Tartan Palisades, Arrow World, and Fractured Visions. Next time I'll be back with, I guess, Vinegar Syndrome and then a bunch of other stuff. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll be back again next week. Bye-bye.